Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and warm welcome from my side as well. For sure, I would love to see you all in front of the stage here in Stuttgart. We didn't get it, but let's make the best out of it. During the next minutes, I'd like to share some thoughts about the market, a bit of number crunching, and I think I tried to get the best value out of it for you as a campsite owner. So let's start for that. So the first chart I'd like to show, and actually it is about the pulse of Germany. What is going on in Germany regarding the market of vehicles and the numbers of the last years. If you see 2013, it's 8 years ago, 40,000 camper vans have been registered. During the last year, we are next to 110,000. And during 8 years, we got a plus of 160%. So it's a massive growth of new registrations of camping. And there's no end. Actually, we can see the same numbers. And to be honest, we could sell even more if the manufacturers would be able to deliver. But this almost 110,000 is much more impressive if you compare that number to the numbers of the other countries all over Europe. So actually, those almost 110 from Germany are 3 times bigger than the next country, which is France. And compared to the Netherlands, which is a very strong camping nation, as everybody knows, we are 10 times bigger in the registration of new vehicles. So therefore, it's pretty clear in no other country, actually, camping is growing as strong as in Germany. And I think this is a wonderful message. Germany is the main driver of the boom. So therefore, please get more campers from Germany on your campsite, give them their value you can create, and for sure, we from PiNCAMP and ADAC love to support you. The second thing I'd like to mention is about quality. For sure, this is a core DNA of PiNCAMP ADAC. Let's see how the quality changed during the last inspection. In the last year, we did an inspection we didn't do before, a major inspection. We inspected 2,000 campsites. So before we did that, we had 133 Superplätze, ADAC Superplätze, those 5-star campsites. After the last inspection, the number increased. We lost 3 of our ADAC Superplätze due to quality issues, but the growth was 28 plus. So therefore, actually, we have 158 ADAC Superplätze all over Europe. This is a plus of 19%. This is a wonderful, really wonderful result, and I'm super proud of you, dear campsite owners, to work as hard on that quality issue. If we compare the countries, actually, Italy is still leading with 33 campsites in the 5-star region, followed by France. And the third one, I'm sorry, this is too fast. The third one has been Croatia with a real big growth of 8 new Superplätze, ADAC Superplätze. That's a great result. So therefore, my deepest congratulations to everybody in there. So to all those existing ones, but my congratulations to the new 28 ones. Warm welcome in the club of the best campsites in Europe. And just one note. I think quality is quite an important issue, maybe the most important one, but please don't forget your character. Don't forget to be unique. Create your own story and tell that story really unique. And I think this is an important message because we don't want to get campsites which looks like each other. Keep it really unique. So we're getting to the third point, which is capacity. So we heard about that increase of numbers of camper vans and vehicles in Germany and all over Europe. But for sure, what we can see, we have a really downsize of number of pitches. We lose pitches year by year. On the other hand, we see an increase of number of mobile homes. Just to give you a number, in France, 37% of the accommodation on a campsite is already driven by mobile homes. So in Swiss, for example, only 7%. So it's a super heterogeneous thing, but all in all, this number is increasing. And at the end, we see a strong increase of number of vehicles. So what does it mean? More and more campers are searching for fewer and fewer pitches, and that's a problem. So therefore, from my point of view, don't lose that kind of camping atmosphere. Think about At night, at, I would say, 7 p.m., you're running around your campsite, people sitting there, having their barbecue, kids are playing. That kind of camping atmosphere is quite necessary to sell your product. And please keep enough capacity for the real wheel-driven campers. Let's get to the fourth point, because the capacity topic is on the next stage, the demand question. So more and more campers are searching for campsites. How do? That? They do it online. So in the past, we have seen the ADAC Camping Führer with information. The next step has been PiNCAMP with information in a digital form. And now we are on the third step. Now we can provide rates and availability. And just have a look on the number, how people use that. So in the last quarter, 2020, 24% of the requests on PiNCAMP have been made on bookable campsites. So a search with, I'd like to get from to 1st August to the 7th August to, I don't know, let's call it France. 1 year later, it increased to 46%. So it already doubled within 1 year. So campers almost doubled their searches for bookable campsites. So therefore, from our point of view, it's quite important to get your campsite bookable on PiNCAMP. Just deliver your rates and availability to get within that searches. That's what campers are wanting in 2022. Now I'm getting to the last one, and from my point of view, from the bottom of my heart, this is the most important one. I'd like to talk about sustainability. For sure we know climate is changing. We've seen really hot summers during the last 3 years, but we have seen massive rain periods as well in Europe. And there was a real tragedy in July last year in Germany. There has been a flood, and I'll just show you some numbers about that flood. More than 220 people died, and we have seen a damage of more than 11 billion euro. So a real drama. So therefore, we just analyzed what does it make with the people. And the first analysis I did was I just had a look on the elections. So those are the numbers of the elections 4 years ago. And to be honest, 4 years ago, sustainability was a topic, but not as important as today. So 4 years ago, we just analyzed the young voters between 18 and 24. How did they vote? So 43% of them voted the traditional parties, which are the conservatives with a major number of 24%, and the social democrats with the rest. So therefore, the majority, 43% conservatives. Another 25% for the bit modern ones, which are the sustainable ones, die Grünen in Germany, and the liberal ones, which are the yellow ones. And we can see a third for all the rest. So after the big discussion of sustainability during the last 4 years, after getting the climate change really in front of our house door, there's a dramatical change. The vote last October, so after all those things which happened, changed everything. The young voters totally switched. So the conservatives went down from 24 to 10. The traditional parties went down from 43 to 25. So what did the young generation vote for? They voted for the green ones and the liberal ones. So what are they expecting? They expect a modern, digital, and liberal society with a focus on sustainability. So therefore, from our point of view, it's a clear change from a traditional perspective to sustainable perspective. What does it mean to the campsites? Well, we did a deep insight regarding the searches of eco-camping on google.de. So compared during the last 4 years, the searches doubled. So double as much people search for ecological camping than 4 years ago. That's a clear direction. And just give you an insight, how many campsites in Europe actually are eco-labeled? And to be honest, only 6 countries offer more than 10% of the campsites eco-labeled. And from our point of view, there's need for more. So therefore, the climate change is really happening on our doorstep. So I just ask you, please create more sustainable products. And from my point of view, make business out of it, because there's a clear demand. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining, and I wish you a great show now. I'm ready from my side. We see you later at the awards, and I would say thank you so much. Back to Cornell.